Miss Prina Bajracharya. And ma'am, this floor is...
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think मेरो sound आइरहेछ because अर्को जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई, I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay, so I'll share the screen. Thank you so much for a warm welcome. I was like, that's a list of work that I've done over here and almost forgot. Thank you for reviving. It's nice and very kind of you. I am very pleased to be here with you all. अनि मेरो छोटो journey म share गरौँला जति मलाई थाहा छ अहिलेसम्म. There's a lot to learn अहिले पनि and I'm still learning. So I hope that the time that I spend 45 minutes, whatever time we have in the session, I hope it'll be fruitful for you guys and you can have a take out home to implement on your own projects as well. So cutting this thing short, I'll just share my screen. Can you see my screen? I don't know. I feel like can you see my slide? I don't know if you can hear me.
Not now.
सुनिराख्नु भएको छ मलाई? Because I cannot see any one of you now. I can only see the blank screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can only see my slide. I meant to say. So तपाईं सुनिराख्नु भएको छ अनि मेरो slide पनि देखिराख्नु भएको छ है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we start with because we have 1 hour and we'll spend about 40 minutes just going through what human-centered design is in a nutshell. Not deep dive too much because it's a little short, but whatever we can cover, we'll try to cover in 40 minutes. And the rest of the time, you can ask me any question if you have. Kunai kura buzhaina bhane, you can put it in the chat and please someone help me to deliver if something is not working or kehi kura buzhaina bhane, hai? Thank you so much. And I might prompt some of the question. In that case, if there is something in chat, I ask you to answer or participants to answer, then please help me to know what people have written in the chat because I cannot see it anymore here. So I want to start not with a slide, not with a framework, but with a feeling. तपाईं एकचोटि याद गर्नु है. A feeling we almost everyone went through, but we pretend it didn't happen. So imagine garnu. Imagine you walk to the door, you're the door sa, tapai walk garनुहुन्छ, door closed sa, and you grab the handle and you pull it confidently to enter, but nothing happens. Yasta भएको छ तपाईहरुलाई कहिले पनि? Just say yes in the chat if there is and let me know. Right? कतिलाई भएको छ होला? मलाई भएको छ, and many of you might have experienced the same thing. The door was to be pushed when you have pulled it. And this is why it matters. Door को काम के हो? हैन? खुल्ने हो नि त हैन? तर के हुन्छ भने त्यो क्षणिक मोमेन्टमा, that momentमा, for fraction of seconds, you try to look around कसै देख्न त देखेन, it's so embarrassing. Another secondमा I feel so silly, मलाई टोखा एउटा पनि खोल्न आएन. And maybe you'll giggle a little bit and laugh and feel silly and stupid at the same time. But think about it. तपाईहरु smart हुनुहुन्छ, brilliant हुनुहुन्छ, engineers हुनुहुन्छ, builder हुनुहुन्छ, right? And every one of us have been defeated by a door. So let me tell you one thing that nobody might have told you before is that it's not your fault. It's actually not your fault. Your door ko kaam ke ho? To tell you without a word which way it opens. हामी एउटा door पनि खोल्न सक्दैन, ढोका पनि खोल्न सक्दैन, push हो कि pull थाहा हुँदैन हामीलाई. So we being people who know how to get things done or solve problems and do complex systems, you don't even know how to pull the door, open the door, right? So then whose problem is it? Is it our problem or it's a door problem? शायद यो हाम्रो problem थिँदै थिएन कहिले पनि. It has always been a door problem. Door might be beautiful, it might be elegant, might be very expensive, might have like fingerprints and all, biometrics to open, well engineered, but still डोरको एउटा सानो काम थियो कि ओपन हुन र मान्छेलाई बुझाउन कि यसरी ओपन हुन्छ भनेर त्यो पनि हुन सक्दैन कहिलेकाहीँ. And what it fails is to be understood by people. So think about it, why I'm saying this, why I started with a feeling, not a strategy, not a framework. Because right now, every single one of you are building a door. And every day, people walk up to that thing you built and pull when they should have pushed. Feeling for a second, they feel embarrassed, a little stupid, a little annoyed, a little frustrated. हुन्छ नि यति पनि भएन मैले गर्न खोजेको काम पनि भएन यति पनि बुझेन या मैले नबुझ्या हो and then quietly without saying a word or saying why they leave and you wonder what happened. In this session I'm not trying to help you to build a better door, but maybe I'm going to help you to change the thing you reach out first. So hi, my name is Prina Bajracharya. Thank you for the warm welcome. I don't think I need to reintroduce myself. I'm a founder and CEO of Nhuniq Lab, and in short, in nutshell, a fellow door builder, like you guys. So let's think backwards alikati. के भइरहेछ? So I want to ask you one thing, and please help me what's there written in the chat, someone, when the answer pops up. Just in one or two words, or in a sentence, tell me your process. The case system, I know you guys are students, most of you guys are students, but I'm sure you might have executed some project or shipped some project practically जुन मान्छेले use गरिरहेछ होला या त तपाईको कलेज प्रोजेक्टमा तपाईहरुले शिप गरिरहेछ होला project execute गरिरहेछ होला. So I want to know what is your process when you build a project. I'll give you a minute to think about it and write the answer. And when it's a minute, I'll just say hello and someone just answer me what's it in the chat. Yeah. Okay. I think I can see. Anything? What have you built? Like, तपाईको process के हो build गर्दा, के system build गर्दा, कसरी process start हुन्छ? How do you start building your software or system? Just write in a few lines. Yeah, that's all I want. Understand and plan. Okay. Aru? Requirement gathering, planning, design, code, test, restart from one. Okay. Requirement gathering. Great. Verify real problem, target audience, build requirement code, test, deploy. Okay. First, the understand problem, then only. Yeah, all of you guys are right? In some or other ways. So when I say think backwards, what I mean by this is most of the time how products are built, and I'm also pretty much guilty for it. I've also done that multiple times when I started off. I started off as a computer engineer, and the way you understand is how to build a product and deploy it, right? You implement and deploy it. That's all I knew. So how we start was you have an idea or problem and you think this is nice and you think, what can you make? A clever technology, feature we are proud of, or something we're excited about. We want to build, right? We add features because building features feels like progress. Or एउटा feature add basa, or एउटा rollout basa भनेर. The list gets longer and we believe the trap that the longer the list, the better the product. Then we go, त्यसपछि built by, which is system built by, we start looking at who can we sell this product to? Who wants this product? And when we don't get it, we say, they don't understand it. त्यस्तो भएको छ? Look how arrogant it is. First, you build the door को concept analogy जाँदाखेरि, first we build a door that lies about which way it opens. We don't understand. होइन? Then, and when people start pulling the door instead of pushing, we say they're not ready for our door. We don't look around and step and say, hang on, what happened? So when we say, we start with what we can build and try to push it on the people, right? We start with the technology we can build and work forward, trying to find the people who wants to use it or buy it or to whom we can sell it. And it feels completely natural. And many of you might have gone through the same process and done that and maybe have failed a couple of times. I have. So when I say it, I've built wrong things more than once, maybe more than any of you guys. I've built it and learned it very hard ways. I made mistakes more than any one of you, I think, out here. I fall in love with my own product that I built. I have added feature nobody asked me for because I thought it was cool. I've shipped features that I thought was useful, but instead it was more confusing and more hard to use. Trust me when I say I've built wrong things more than once. So I want you to ask one more thing in the chat. Just drop down. Think about one feature. I'm talking about any of the class project or anything that you have rolled out in practically in real life. Think about one feature that you have built because you thought it was cool. Not because it was a necessity, because it's cool, it's nice. You have built it. Think about one feature जुन चाहिँ तपाईले build गर्नु भएको छ. That was not necessary, but you just did it anyways. Yeah. केही छ यस्तो कुनै feature that you have built? Feature to add sticker in web page. Okay. अरु कसैको? मैले धेरै गरेको छु. I thought it was cool and I just added it. Anything else? A bespoke like automated chat box in a fashion website which had just HTML, CSS, and JS Kanban board. Okay. Okay, so anything that you want to add that I can see? Yeah. Go on. Okay, then I move forward. Okay, बुझेन भने you can stop me. Okay. So when I say the product is not the point, it's hard to take it when I say this. Normally when I say it in public or when I tell people the product is not the point. The feature is also not the point. The clever technology you're so proud of building is also not the point. If that's not the point, then what are we building for? What's the end goal then? Kina banairasa? You're a piece of technology, you're a piece of software. What are we building? If it's not a product, it's not a point. Feature is not a point. Technology is also not a point. Then what is it for? What is the end goal? Kiola. Any guesses? Gisa? बुझ्नु भयो मैले भनेको? To solve? Yeah, okay. To solve what? अर्को? Okay. What's the point? What are we chasing? के को लागि बनाइरह होला हामीले? Anything? Anyone? Why chat is silent? Customer satisfaction? Okay. Customer satisfaction हुन सक्छ. Better user experience? Cool. To solve a problem? Nice. Money? Very practical. Dinesh Karki. To make something that provides value or make a difference. For aesthetic? हुन सक्छ. All of this is partly right. सबै कुरा partly right छ. Completely होइन. त्यो partमा right छ. So it starts with human. What we are doing is for our user. What we are building is for our user. User is छैन भने किन build गर्ने र? हैन? कसले युजै गर्दैन भने त्यो software, piece of software किन build गर्ने? केही कुरा किन गर्ने र? Think about it. तपाईको user को हो? So yeah, human ho भने, मान्छे हो भने, start with people. Instead of thinking about we have a great technology and then think about who to sell it, think about the other way around. Here is a people, here is a problem, there is a need. This is what they want to feel, and what is the simplest thing you can do to give it to them, what they want to feel, or how they want to fulfill their needs. कसरी simplest way मा के दिन सक्छ. And that's what we're chasing. That's what human-centered design is all about. But you might argue, Prina, isn't it that we use technology all the time? It's all about technology. Big companies dazzled us with technology until we are obsessed about them and we cannot do without them. We cannot live without using them, right? But no magic. The magic start with the feeling and reach back to the tech, which means that these people also, these companies also, somewhere out there in the team looked into what was the problem, who has the problem, what we can do about it, what they needed before they come to the tech, and they thought about the tech that can help us to reach that goal. So every time it's people first and the technology second. It always comes at second when it comes to technology. So the secret is to think about, they just made the technology for a successful company. They just made the technology so invisible so that all you felt was the experience. To think about it, what is user experience then? How it feels to use what you built. For example, let's go back to the door. How easily the door open? Where you get stuck? Instead of you pull the door when it need to be pushed. Kहाँनिर bottleneck आयो त, कहाँनिर गाह्रो भयो, that's UX, right? And when it comes to HCD, that is human-centered design, how you make it feel that way by starting with the people. For example, how you design the door on purpose. Think about the people who is going to use that door. सानो बच्चा हुन सक्छ, ठुलो हुन सक्छ, ह्यान्डिक्याप हुन सक्छ, नर्मल मान्छे अडल्ट हुन सक्छ, कसले युज गर्छ, कति हाइटको हुन सक्छ, कति वेटको हुन सक्छ, कति साइजको हुन सक्छ. And think about कहाँनिर कसरी ह्यान्डल राख्दा कसरी राख्दाखेरि त्यो अन पर्पस थाहा हुन्छ कि यो डोर यसरी ओपन हुने भनेर. That's how you think about कि कतिजना कस्तो मान्छेहरूको लागि बिल्ड गरेर राख्छ, के सामान या त के प्रडक्ट या के सर्भिस. So we say that every product is really 3 products. First, the product you imagine. That's in your head. This amazing space to be. Late at night, you think about this amazing idea. Glorious, sexy, and it's $1 billion idea, right? That's the product you imagine. The second thing is the product that you built. The code, the screens, the spec sheets, the money that you put into, the effort that you put in, the team that you put into. And the third thing is the product they experience, means the product your user experiences. And that can be very contextual, that can be very different. Maybe on a bad day, maybe when they're very tired, when they had a fight with their spouse, or maybe when they had a bad day at work, maybe when they got demoted. Think about different things, when they fumble, right? Maybe they are holding a baby. This is my baby, I don't have it, but this is my baby at that time. And then I'm using my phone to check onto what your system can offer, right? A lot of things. Contextually, there can be a lot of things where people might use their system in different ways, in different contexts. But mostly we overlook this kind of contextual things. कहाँनिर product छ, use हुन्छ, appहरू चल्छ, तर कहाँनिर चल्छ, कसरी चल्छ, कुन कन्टेक्स्टमा चल्छ, कुन सिचुएसनमा चल्छ, कस्तो मान्छेले चलाउँछ, we almost forget that. So when it comes to your user and people that are using your products, number 1 and number 2 doesn't matter. It doesn't matter कि तपाईको imagination कस्तो हो. It doesn't matter it's $1 billion idea for you guys. It doesn't matter how much money you put into, how many hard work how many hours you put in, whether you eat or not, whether you are in the loan or not, nobody cares. What kind of technology you use it, what kind of software you use, what kind of tech stack you use it, nobody cares. The thing they care is about the product itself and the experiences, and if it can give exactly what they need. तपाईँ भन्नु तपाईँहरूको सबैको मा ल्यापटप छ फोन छ कहिले खोलेर हेर्नु भएको छ कि स्पेक कस्तो छ भित्र भनेर I don't think most of you might not have opened your laptop or your phone. ल्यापटप त ओपन गरेर होला सायद चेक गर्नलाई फोनहरू युज गरेर आउँदैन या तपाईँको टिभी फर इक्जाम्पल कसरी युज गर्दैन काम गर्यो एक्सपिरियन्स राम्रो छ ठिक छ तर कसैले पनि खोलेर हेर्दैन यो भन्दैन कि यति टाइम लगाएर यत्रो टिम लगाएर बनाएको यत्रो रिसर्च लगाएर बनाएको भनेर एकचोटि बिग्रियो काम लाग्दैन भनिहाल्छ हामीले and we choose and go move on to the next product as easy as it is. So your product is the same thing as well for your users. So only the third thing is the real thing for the users. So when I say you're not building a product, you're building then complete the sentence for me. What are you building? If you're not building a product, what are you building? Anything in the chat? मैले यहीँ राख्दैछु Yeah, experience, exactly. Thank you. So experience in someone's head. तपाईं जे बिल्ड गरिराख्नु भएको छ नि त्यो कसैको दिमागमा या त कसैको लागि एक्सपिरियन्स क्युरेट गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ उसको लागि मात्रै right you are trying to think about the way they see their product is it good or bad is functional or not is it something that I want or not it is satisfied my need or not मलाई कस्तो फिल गराउँछ राम्रो फिल गराउँछ नराम्रो फिल गराउँछ अन्डरस्टुड फिल गराउँछ what is it The real thing you ship is not the product. The real thing you ship is the feeling. So the next thing to ask is start with a human. And when I say start with a human, I'm not saying ask people what they want. Normally when I say start with the human, मान्छेले भनिहाल्नु सर्भे गरिहालौँ न त मार्केट सर्भे एकचोटि अनि इन्टरभ्यू गरेर सोधौँ कि what people want. Honestly speaking, people genuinely don't know what they want. They can't tell you what they want when they have not experienced it or seen it. If you start building things what they want by asking what they want, then maybe you'll build something faster than what exists right now. अहिले एक्जिस्ट गरेको सिस्टममा अलि फास्ट खोज्छ होला मान्छेहरूले हैन अलिकति एडभान्स खोज्छ होला त्योभन्दा बेसी सोच्न सक्दैन So that's not the right way to go. Better way is to understand why do people do what they do. For example, I want to ask you. Your session I'm 6:45 मा राखिरहेको छु 7 मा आउनुभयो तपाईहरु I want to ask you one simple thing. Why did you come to this session? It's interesting because मैले last week or कि त्योभन्दा अगाडिको week मा राख्न लाग्थे but something came up so I couldn't do it. So let's move it and we are doing it today. And as a morning, Dia from the career Kaushal called me and said that can we move from 6 to 7 because some of the students cannot make it and they want to be in this session. Now think about it. As a Friday nighter, instead of partying, instead of going out with your friends, instead of going and watching a movie or staying at home and watching Netflix or playing a game or clubbing, why are you all here? 39 jana. Why are you here in this session which someone is talking? I'm not even that popular. Most of you have never heard my name pani hola. हैन As the first time देखिरहनु भएको छ होला एक दुई जनाले बाहेक. So I want to ask you why are you here? Right? You always have a reason to do that. That's why I say think about why people do what they do. That's very important to understand. मान्छेले किन गर्छ हैन त्यही सिस्टममा किन फर्केर जान्छ त्यही साइन अप किन गर्छ किन मान्छेले क्विट गर्छ यो त प्रोडक्ट कि बग आउने बित्तिकै प्रोडक्ट क्विट गर्ने हो त होइन होला सायद maybe People quit the product because they felt stupid when they used it and they don't want to feel stupid again. Or they felt like the system is making them feel like they're wasting their time and they don't want to waste their time होला या waste their money होला. शायद फर्केर आउँछ किनकि it made them feel good about themselves. So think about from the feeling end. People don't buy features. They buy what you give them in return from their features, what they can get from their features. Maybe, for example, iPhone buy when शायद ego दिन्छ होला ए मसँग iPhone छ ego boost like तपाईको ego पनि boost हुन्छ अरे शायद flex पनि गर्न सकिन्छ. I have iPhone 17 Pro Max, right? किन सोच्न एकचोटि आफै कि के दिन्छ त्यस्तै तपाईले पनि सोच्नु पर्यो कि whenever you are building any system or services, think about कि system or service technology आफ्नो ठाउँमा छ तर मेरो सिस्टमले किन चाहियो र यो सिस्टमले के दिन्छ मेरो युजरलाई. Behind every behavior there is a need people cannot name, and the whole job and the entire job is not just to understand what they do, but actually to understand deep down why they do what they do. So study a little bit more on why part than what. So people can tell you what they want, but they will show you exactly who they are if you watch it carefully, if you observe it carefully. For example, Srishti mentioned about my autism project. My autism project in Lego I come from a technical background. So when I had to do an internship, I wanted to do an internship that was human-centric design host. Just as we follow that, which I wanted to, but also I wanted to do something that was technologically equipped. So I chose a robotics project where I had to work with a humanoid robot, 360 humanoid robot, French robot from Aldebaran, now robot, and use that as a tool to do something for the children with autism. Awesome. That sounds like a plan. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Technology and human-centered design mix, right? But the thing that I missed was, okay, when you think about people, you start asking questions. Mama observe garumla, question garumla, interview garumla, buझिहाल्छ नि, my assumption. But I realized that miss my kids, my user group was 8 to 10-year autistic children, which was high-functioning autistic children, which means that they can verbally speak and talk and very, very, very smart. But the problem was they were Dutch. I couldn't talk Dutch, and they were not that great or fluent with English. त्यसमाथि पनि autismको बच्चा high functioning हुँदाखेरि त्यो बच्चामा के थियो भन्दाखेरि they were a little bit violent in nature. त्यो हुँदाखेरि they used to live in clinic itself, not with their parents, and they once in 2 weeks or once in a month they used to go to their family house to spend time with their parents because parents didn't know how to handle if they get angry or agitated, right? So उनीहरूको temperament handle गर्न सक्दैन थियो. So I was not allowed to sit with these kids alone because you never know what they will not be able to handle. I will not be able to handle their temperament if I start talking. So अलि टाढाबाट हेर्नु पर्थ्यो. So I used to observe from a distance. अनि एउटा assumption build हुँदो रहेछ. So I was talking with this lady who had 2 children with autism. And then I just told naively that children with autism don't like to play with each other. Because that's what I said. So they didn't play with each other. So I assumed that they don't like to play with each other. And she got a little bit annoyed with me because I was so naive and to say that bluntly. And she said, Prina, I think you're mistaking it. It's not that my child or children doesn't like to play with each other. They like to be in the same room. They will play in the same room, Pani. But the problem is they don't know how to play with each other. And you're not understanding what my children are going through. And that was right. I didn't understand at all. Well, टाढाबाट हेर्दा assume गर्दाखेरि मैले contextually उनीहरूको behavior हेर्न सकिनँ. And that changed the whole entire thing, the way I worked on that project. And then instead of assuming thing. I started to look deep dive on their behavior, how they behave. This balla I could understand that, okay, this is what I understand. This is what I think this kids are missing, and this is what we can do. So that's why I say that when you observe, you start understanding. The thing about the human is to, when you think about the product, try to understand your people, try to understand your users. So watch what they do, not what they say. So the thing about the human-centered design is not a diagram or a process diagram or a lot of sticky notes like we see in the design thinking, that there are a lot of sticky notes. Yeah, that's part of it. But being patient and being observant, the act of understanding people and your user so well that you become advocate for their decisions. Watch instead of asking. Notice what they do. And don't just ask, just see what they do. Because when you ask, that's like a press release. When you know and understand what they do, that's the truth. How was your day? Most of you say, well, that day went okay. It was nice. It was bad. I had a bad day. My manager my girlfriend whatever it is. You always try to present this persona, nice persona, to in front of others, to create that persona and intact that persona. Everything is nice. But when you see their behavior, the way they do things, the way they behave, you start noticing the underlying thing. And that is the truth that you need to dig out from your users. So let me give you an example. I don't know if you have heard about it. It's not about the software, but it was a piece of technology, MRI machine too. An MRI machine, I don't know how many of you have seen or used it. I have. And it's pretty big. It looks very, very scary. I was been 10 down. So you don't know what is happening. And especially MRI machine भित्र छिर्नु पर्यो भने त तर्सिन्छ नि हैन के हो कसरी बस्ने तर्सिन्छ नि के भइराछ थाहा छैन उनीहरुलाई. So whenever this was a team that built an amazing MRI machine that time, putting years of effort and launched it. They're very proud of that technology, very advanced. But what they noticed was you're a tiny bacha, 8-9 वर्षको बच्चा हैन केटी बच्चा आउँदाखेरि हात समातेर आयो, and she was on the almost verge to cry because she was so scared of the machine. And the team noticed, that one of the team member noticed and thought कि के भयो यहाँ and so that 80%, that was written in the article, that 80% of the kids get frightened and needs to be sedated. And because they're so scared of the machine. So instead of trying to improve the feature, they looked into what is the problem. And what they did the next time was paint the room. MRI machines, they painted the room like a pirate ship. They did the entire interior of the MRI machine like a pirate ship. And then they start telling the story that, okay, you're going to this adventure in the pirate where you are the hero. Now you have to fight against the odds and you have to stay intact. Don't move so that you can skip the danger. So there was a storytelling done, right, for them. So same machine, different approach. The simple thing they changed what they understood the user group and try to change as the kids will understand. त्यसले गर्दा immersive एउटा experience दिएपछि त्यही same बच्चा जसले चाहिँ डराइरहेको थियो said, Mom, can we also come tomorrow? So if you that's why I say don't ask what you want. Nobody asked that child what she wanted. Had they asked it, she won't be able to say it. 8 वर्षको बच्चा 9 वर्षको बच्चाले कसरी भन्छ what she wanted. But somebody understood their behavior patterns and thought this would be the right solution for her. So they built it. So understand your user. So start with a human. When you start with a human, most of the feature will die. Why I say is that कि तपाईले टेक्नोलोजीबाट feature सोच्नु भयो भने तपाईले feature add गर्दै जानुहुन्छ. Most likely, that might not be the case, but most likely it will happen. But when you think from the user end, from the human end, then you start thinking what is the necessity versus what is nice to have. You stop asking what more can we add. You start asking what least we can do to give them the experience or feelings or need they want at that moment from our device or the software or a system or product. So the thing is that adding is not difficult. It's like a villain. The best thing to do if you think from a human way is to subtract, which is difficult. Strip away everything that is not necessary, that's not serving that your user. तपाईं हेर्नु एक्चुअली तपाईंको सिस्टम बनाएको कतिवटा चीज तपाईले फिगर आउट गर्नुहुन्छ कि तपाईंको युजरलाई चाहिँदैन. So strip that out until only the things that are absolutely necessary are there. So I want to ask you one more last thing before we go to the next slide. When it comes to design, when I say the design word, what is one thing that pops up in your head? Can you write that in the chat? When I say design, what comes in your head? The first thing that comes in your head. Don't think too much. Anything that comes in your head when I say design. What is it? What is designed for you? Appealing. Cool. What else? Aesthetic. Nice. Anything else? User-friendly. Cool. Blank. Clarity, classic drawing. Components, arrangement, style. Cool. Nice. So let's think. This is one of the most misunderstood term in business. म पनि डिजाइनर भन्दाखेरि फर्स्टमा मलाई के भन्थ्यो इन्टेरियर डिजाइनर हो तपाईँ भन्थ्यो कि भने होइन दाइ म इन्टेरियर डिजाइनर होइन भन्दा त्यसपछि तपाईँ पक्कै पनि के भन्थ्यो फ्यासन डिजाइनर होला भन्थ्यो होइन म फ्यासन डिजाइनर पनि होइन ओ ग्राफिक डिजाइनर भन्थ्यो अनि ग्राफिक डिजाइनर पनि होइन दाइ म भन्दै हो के डिजाइनर त तपाईँ यो पनि होइन त्यो पनि होइन त्यो पनि होइन सो व्हेन इट कम्स टु डिजाइन it's very misunderstood word in business. People think it's making things pretty. It's about font, color, polish, making aesthetically pleasing. That's a part of it. I don't deny that, right? Design is not just about making things pretty. Design is about how it works. The decision you make that user never sees. तपाईले जुन decision लिनुहुन्छ ठाउँ-ठाउँमा like के कुरा राख्ने, what to include, what to remove, what to exclude, what to improvise, how to make it effortless. जुन चाहिँ तपाईको युजरले देखिरा हुँदैन त्यस्तो decision, minute decisionहरु. So design is not always about decoration. It's part of aesthetic, is part of a design, but not everything. It's about how things work and the decision that you make. Another thing that is really misunderstood is simplicity. Simplicity is everything you had courage to leave out. हामी भन्छौं कि complex system बनाउन अलि सजिलो छ कि अर्को नयाँ feature add गर अर्को नयाँ feature add गर यस्तो भयो. When you think about simplicity, मान्छेले minimalistic भन्न जान्छ. No, it's not minimalism. It's just exactly what needs to be there. नचाहिने कुरा किन राख्नु पर्यो. That's simplicity. Every feature you kill, every step you delete so that it makes the process easier for your user. That's simplicity, and it's not easy. And that takes a courage. किनकि थप्ने काम सजिलो छ कि घटाउन काम धेरै गाह्रो छ, and it really takes courage to leave out and say no, I don't want this. I'm not putting this in the software or your system or your product or your services. So तपाईको मेन काम भनेको एड गर्नु भन्दा पनि के सब्सट्र्याक्ट गर्न सकिन्छ त. That's your call as a product owner, as a CTO, as a founder. One day you guys might be, right? So think about it. के कुरा राख्ने हो त के कुरा निकाल्ने? You need to be very clear, and you need to have courage to say no. I don't want that in our system, but it's not necessary. So I want to ask you one more question. Be honest about the कुनै product or develop गर्नुभयो the class project is project sorry, that's fine. So you might have built the product and you might have added the feature from A, म तपाईँलाई option A, B, C, D दिन्छु. Which one do you think you choose for your product? Be honest. Nobody is grading you, so don't worry. Yeah. So A, B, C, D मा कुन चाहिँ? Oh, I have to share the screen, I think, for this. A, B, C, D मा कुन चाहिँ हो तपाईँले choose गरेको? Features. Did you add too many feature? Did you add too little feature? Just the right amount, but a little confusing. But I don't know. थाहा छैन के गरेको थाहा भएन. What are the things that you choose? A, B, C, D. मा के छ?
Saying it's A.
It's A?
Yeah, most of them. Sudeep Bohra, Sandhya Pant, and Sugam Kharat can be Vikati. They're saying it's A. And Aramba is saying, naturally, I tend to gravitate towards A, but C should be it. Someone is saying it's all of the above, and someone saying C.
Exactly. We add too much, or we add the feature, but it's confusing, and sometimes we really don't know what we are doing, and that's absolutely fine too. Early summer. I hope यसपछि चाहिँ you start thinking more thoughtfully about your system that you're building. So we say that subtraction is a love letter you give it to your user. That's time. किनकि जति तपाईँ subtract गर्नुहुन्छ featuresहरू, you tell your user that you understand them. It's not minimalism in a style. It's a way of saying that you respect them. Every deleted feature you say says that I value your life, your time more than I value showing off what I can build. तपाईँ capability छ होला build गर्ने, तर तपाईँ बुझ्नुहुन्छ तपाईँको युजरलाई, and तपाईँलाई थाहा छ कि तपाईँको युजरलाई के चाहिन्छ र के चाहिँदैन. And when you deduct or delete those features and say, no, I don't want this is nice to have, but it's not necessity, that's when you understand your user. So think about the product you absolutely love. Right? कुनै पनि product that you love. Drop down in the chat whatever the product you love, not like, love. The one you would be heartbroken if you cannot use it. So what did this product do to you? Think about it. Is it a long list of features because of which you love that product? Or is it something that made you feel that this product got me? This product understands me. This product makes me happy. This product gives me exactly what I need. Think about one product, and can you put it in the chat? What is that product and how did that product make you feel? And again, Srishti, can you help me with this if there's something in chat?
Yes. Guitar tuner, someone saying. Dinesh is saying guitar tuner.
What did the guitar tuner do to you? Why is it so important? Why is it?
Save time. He's saying it saved.
Sorry?
He's saying it saved his time.
Okay.
The guitar tuner saved his time.
Arukune product. There are so many people in the same. You can also write Srishti, the product you love, and what feeling it evoked in you.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Mobile. One is saying mobile.
Okay.
Flow, because it tracks my monthly dates. Someone saying, yeah, flow. Yeah, true.
Yeah. So if you think about it, the product that you absolutely love evokes some kind of feeling. The thought that they thought about my time. They thought about me. They know me. this was made for me, this was curated for me. This feeling आउँछ नि हामीलाई जब when your product understands you, that's when it gets you. So now look down at your own door. This is something that I want to really look into. Things that you plan to build or things you are building right now. Think about it. From an open mind, तपाईँ सोच्नु टाढाबाट एकछिन तपाईको प्रडक्टलाई अलि टाढा राखेर हेर्नु एज अ स्ट्रेन्जर कि तपाईँ आफैले हेर्नु भयो भने तपाईँले आफैले बिल्ड गर्न खोजिराख्नु भएको छ, तपाईँले आफैले क्रिएट गर्न खोजिराख्नु भएको छ, तपाईँलाई माया लाग्छ कि who doesn't love their own baby? Who will say that my baby is ugly? Nobody. Right? Because it's your baby. No matter राम्रो होस् नराम्रो राम्रो छ, मेरो लागि राम्रो छ, त्यो हुन्छ. So for a time being, just distance yourself from whatever you're building or what you plan to build or whatever you'll build in the future, and look at it as a stranger who doesn't care about your product. के फरक पर्दैन तपाईको product राम्रो होस् या नराम्रो होस्, successful होस्, successful नहोस्. Think about it and think about कि उनीहरूले कसरी हेर्छ तपाईको प्रोडक्टलाई. Blank eyes बाट एकचोटि सोच्नु कि कसरी हेर्छ. And think about my first question. Think about it. Ask yourself whenever you're building the product, where do they pull when they should have pushed? Means कि कहाँनिर उनीहरूलाई गाह्रो भयो, कहाँनिर उनीहरू हेजिटेट गर्यो, कहाँनिर उनीहरू अलि स्टुपिड फिल गर्यो, कहाँनिर उनीहरू अलिकति फ्रन गर्यो, कहाँनिर उनीहरू अलिकति annoyed भयो. Get that spot right there. त्यो एउटा चाहिँ स्पट चाहिँ थाहा पाउनु पर्यो तपाईले, थाहा पाउनु. Second thing, I want you to ask yourself and be honest about it. What did you build for you, not for them? कहिलेकाहीँ हामीले build गर्छ कुनै feature or system because we like it. We think that it's amazing and we never think about our users. Maybe it's your ego, to satisfy your ego हुन्छ कहिलेकाहीँ that you build it. So be honest about any feature or anything that you built for you, not for your users. And finally, I want you to think, what would you delete tomorrow? तपाईले कुनै सिस्टम डेभलप गरिराख्नु भएको छ या त intending to develop whatever or existing कुनै सिस्टम डेभलप गर्नु भएको छ होला हैन भने चाहिँ think about what would you delete tomorrow. कुनै एउटा यस्तो feature that you'll completely delete because you think it's absolutely not necessary, it was too much. Not improvise, not deactivate, delete it. Think about it, है यो कुरा चाहिँ अलि सोच्नु. And one last thing that I want to tell, we are almost at the end. Think about the technology. Technology gets copied. तपाईले कुनै पनि technology लिएर आउनु, but ChatGPT आएपछि Gemini आयो, Claude आयो, यो आयो, त्यो आयो. So when it comes to generative AI, Kling आयो, there's a VO आयो, there's Higgsfield आयो, and so on and so forth. Technology is going everywhere. People are doing everything that is successful. So if you bring out something new that is exciting, that has value, then it will be copied by Friday Neola, by bigger company, by smaller company. Features get copied, designs get copied. But what is hard to copy is understanding. तपाईले टाइम इन्भेस्ट गर्यो तपाईको युजरलाई बुझ्नको लागि, त्यसलाई कपी गर्न धेरै गाह्रो छ, सजिलो छैन. It only compounds. जति तपाई बुझ्नुहुन्छ, जति डिप तपाई जानुहुन्छ तपाईको युजरलाई लिएर, त्यति तपाई बुझ्नुहुन्छ है. अनि त्यसलाई चाहिँ तपाईलाई overtake गर्न चाहिँ अलि धेरै नै गाह्रो छ. So think about it. That's why understanding user is very, very important. So again, I will stress it. Start with a human. It's 4-letter word. Start with a human. Know your user, know who they are, where they are, what they are going through, what kind of things they go through, what is their mindset, how do they think, why do they do what they do. Everything drills down to start with a human, work backwards, and then build the technology and features that will complement the need that they need, your users are needing. So at the end of the day, it is the experience that you are building for them rather than features. One last thing I left out मैले धेरैचोटि भने कि you're designing how people get to feel about themselves. किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ मैले भने कि you're designing the experience. And when I say experience design गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ, the experience is not about your product. The experience is about themselves. The experience is about how your product makes them feel. It is never about your product. तपाईँ सोच्नु तपाईँ आइफोन किन्नुहुन्छ कहिले आइफोनलाई थ्याङ्क यू भन्नुभएको छ कहिले गएर के गर्नुभएको छ. It is always about you. The same thing for your users as well. They will not think about your technology or your company. They will think about themselves. And that's what you need to understand. And every piece of software or feature that you push there or product you design makes a user feel like if they are a tiny bit more capable or a tiny bit more stupid or tiny bit more respected or they feel neglected or dismissed. What do you want them to feel? And that's what you need to figure it out, right? So thank you very much. This is all I have for you right now. I made it very quick, not very human-centered processes because very short time for us to go through the process. But yeah.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for the session. About your last moment, if anyone has any questions, please chat my comment it down. Like, do you guys have any questions? We took a contact session, so do you guys have any questions? Are you guys all clear about ASICO session? Do you guys have like after product build that do you guys like have you guys not thought about like oh my product Eriko about maybe I have these questions and all of you are clear?
Okay, ma'am. मसँग चाहिँ एउटा क्वेसन थियो कि हामीले अब्जर्भेसन चाहिँ कसरी बढाउन सक्ने युजर अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङको लागि.
Observation भनेको you quietly understand. For example, तपाईलाई कुनै let me tell you about my own experience हैन. जब पनि हामीलाई कुनै product, for example, I was doing a product for my client. यो हाम्रो सजिलो सेवा जस्तै छ नि हैन. कटारको लागि गरिरहेको थिएँ कि मैले. And त्यो गर्दाखेरि obviously I cannot go to Qatar and observe there, but I know similar kind of product. Here is सजिलो सेवा. त्यहाँ चाहिँ अलि extended थियो यहाँभन्दा, but anyways similar that I can go. So what I did was I booked I didn't need to repair anything, but I wanted to know the process and I want to see how their technician functions or कसरी गर्छ उनीहरूले. So what I did was to book a call. Okay, के गर्छ भने मैले बुक गरेँ मेरो एउटा प्लम्बिङको इस्यु छ. That's the only thing I could think of. And then can you help me भनेर लेखेँ. And then I got कि okay यो गर्नलाई यो चाहिन्छ, so we will come for observation भन्यो यति बेला. So they came. So what did I do was to go and actually use the product. So anything you want to observe, right, go out there. त्यही गरेर बुझ्नु तपाईँ. For example, when we were building for सडक विभाग पनि, we were building an observation system, mobile recording system. I'm not a technician. I'm not a civil engineer. I don't go to the bridges and build a bridge. I don't understand these nuances, but we were building for bridge management system. So what I did was to go to the field visit. म तलसम्म जान्थेँ ब्रिजको. मलाई हिँड्न पनि आउँदैन थियो. मलाई दाइले हातमा मात्रै तल लगिदिन्थ्यो कि म स्लिप भएर खस्थेँ. And then I realized कि we're thinking about the tablet त्यति बेला. किनकि स्क्रिन सेप ठुलो हुन्छ मोबाइलभन्दा ट्याब्लेट राम्रो होला. But I realized कि म जस्तो क्लम्जी भयो भने ट्याब्लेट पनि झर्छ मान्छे पनि झर्छ दुवैजना मर्छ, right? कि त ट्याब्लेट झर्छ कि त मान्छे झर्छ कि दुवै झर्छ, म त मर्छु थाहा छ मलाई. त्यो पकेटमा पनि राख्न नमिल्ने, हातमा पनि बोक्न गाह्रो अनि झन् पानी पर्दा यो साँप त्यो के भन्छ स्लिप पनि हुने डेन्जर छ. कहिलेकाहीँ तपाईँलाई चढ्नु पनि पर्ने हुन्छ. So you go and observe things, the context, what's the problem, कसरी गर्छ हेर्नु तपाईँहरू. तपाईँ आफै पनि एक्सपिरियन्स गर्नु, द्याट्स वेन यु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड वाट इज द एक्चुअल प्रब्लम एन्ड वाट यु निड टु बिल्ड. सो आफै नगएसम्म चाहिँ हुँदैन त्यहाँ गएर बुझ्नलाई. And then you need to build a rapport with them, start talking and see how they start expressing. So that's why I say कि जहिले पनि मान्छेले बोली एउटा भन्छ, गर्ने अर्को हुन्छ कि. So always think about both the things when we do the interviews also, when we observe also. हामी बोलीको पनि सुन्छ, but we also tally their behavior. And behavior पनि analyze गरेर हुन्छ कि. That's how we do it. Yeah. So तपाईँ आफै जानु पर्यो and बिस्तारै तपाईँको nuancesहरू बुझ्नु पर्यो उनीहरूको. I hope that answers the questions, Raviji.
Yeah, understand and thank you.
Any other question for me? बुझेको सबैले? You guys also can ask the question.
Oh, Aramba has the question. Yeah. So, whenever you build a product, what user experience, as in what should you primarily focus on? What will your consumer remember in the pool of so many competitors is the most important to design? Aramba is asking this question.
So, when you build a product, what user experience has? Experience भन्नाले you need to understand what is the problem first मा. उनीहरूको हामीले भन्छ कि एउटा चाहिँ इच हाम्रो डिजाइनमा चाहिँ हामीले भन्छ कि is it an itching problem or is it a bleeding problem भन्छ कि. You need to understand the problem. कि तपाईँले के बिल्ड के चाहिरहेको छ युजरलाई. युजर एक्सपिरियन्स बनाउनु भन्दा उनीहरूलाई कस्तो खालको फिलिङ्स आइरहेछ, उनीहरू कस्तो खालको मान्छे हो. इगोइस्टिक मान्छे छ भने इगो बुस्ट हुनु पर्यो. तपाईँको आइफोनले गर्छ त्यो टु मेनी एक्सटेन्ट, तपाईँको इगो बुस्ट गर्छ होइन. त्यसरी तपाईँलाई के चाहिरहेछ तपाईँले बुझ्नु पर्यो कि तपाईँको युजरलाई. सो वेन यु टक अबाउट इचिङ प्रब्लम, तपाईँको कुनै कुनै यस्तो माथि कङ्गालै हुन्छ कि अनि यस्तो गऱ्यो भने निको हुन्छ कि खासै भएन. कुनै कुनै घाउ नै काटेको हुन्छ, रगतै निस्केको हुन्छ, दुखेकै हुन्छ, तपाईँले त्यसलाई सल्भ गरेन भने तपाईँको हातै काट्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. सो यु हेभ टु फिगर आउट वाट इज इट. देन वेन यु फिगर आउट द प्रब्लम, देन यु क्यान थिङ्क अबाउट वाट काइन्ड अफ पिपल दे आर. थिङ्क अबाउट इट. तपाईँको मान्छेको हो, के चाहिरहेछ उसलाई, केले दुखाइरहेछ, के को कमी छ उसमा, के को डिजायर छ. द्याट्स वेन यु स्टार्ट बिल्डिङ द एक्सपिरियन्स अराउन्ड इट. त्यति बेला तपाईँलाई एक्सपिरियन्स आउँछ कि उसलाई फिल के गराउने. मलाई वार्म फिल गराउनु पर्ने कि कोल्ड फिल गराउनु पर्ने, खुसी गराउनु पर्यो कि बुझेको देखाउनु पर्यो कि के देखाउने. एन्ड द्याट्स वेन यु स्टार्ट बिल्डिङ द experience. And again, there will be a list of features that you need to develop or experiences that you need to curate. But think about it, not all features or experiences are equally important. You need to rank them. कि कुन चाहिँ एक्सपिरियन्स र फिचरलाई डेभलप गर्ने अगाडि. एन्ड त्यो कुरा त्यति बेलासम्म थाहा हुँदैन जबसम्म तपाईँ टेस्ट गर्नुहुन्न. तपाईँले युजर टेस्ट गर्नु, जेसुकै गर्नु, you can only solve up to 70% of the problem. The actual thing goes कि तपाईँले बनाएको चिज राम्रो हो कि होइन भनेको जब त्यति बेला थाहा हुन्छ जब त्यो प्रडक्सनमा मान्छेकोमा जान्छ. सो वेन वी डु इट, हामीले गर्दाखेरि के गर्छ, कुनै कुरा फिचर डेभलप गऱ्यो भने हामी जहिले पनि एबी टेस्ट गर्छ कि. एबी टेस्ट गर्दाखेरि सानो पुलमा गर्छ. से फर इक्जाम्पल मलाई काठमाडौँ र पोखरामा गर्नु पर्यो, अरू ठाउँमा त्यो फिचर डेप्लोय नै हुँदैन. त्यो दुईटामा गरेर हामी we take the data out, we tally and see if this feature is ready to be pushed in the market. If the experience that we're building is understandable to people and making them feel happy about it. साँच्चै चाहिने हो कि होइन सबै ठाउँमा जानुभन्दा. So that's how you do it. त्योभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ we say that fail in napkin भन्छ कि हामीले. भनेको पेपरमा प्रोटोटाइप गर्नु, टेस्ट गर्नु and know it. Most of the time your lot of the features will fail in the napkin then go to the coding. Codingमा गएपछि तपाईको धेरै पैसा लाग्छ, तर napkinमा फेल गर्न गाह्रो छैन. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Do you guys have any other questions? Not, we'll end the session here. Like, any questions? So I think सबैजनाले बुझ्यो नै होला. So that's why there are no questions. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you again. Thank you so much for Azuka session. And I'm sure as all the knowledges that students got, then early parts you have no product map and they'll imply it. And yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time and answering all these questions.